I'm Jason Sawanyana from the Litigation Department of Bowman Gilfillan Attorneys, and today I'll be interviewing Paul Hutt-Davies, one of our directors at Bowman Gilfillan Attorneys, on the new Consumer Protection Act in relation to franchises. Paul, is it correct to say that consumers are now in a better position in purchasing goods or services since the implementation of the Consumer Protection Act?
Absolutely, Jason. The position in terms of the old Act that there was no protection for consumers who were dominated by suppliers and franchisors. And over a period of time, the franchisors and suppliers developed business models which gave franchisees very little choice in purchasing their goods and services. And there was no legislation to protect them. And many of these agreements were contracted in franchise agreements and gave the franchisee little way of escaping these onerous provisions.
Can you give us examples of this abuse and unfair practice?
Yes, I think the most important one is one that we've all experienced in applying for a home loan. It was often a condition of the home loan that the applicant would have to buy certain insurance products, including householders insurance and life assurance, from the bank. And this led to two problems. One is you didn't know whether your product was competitive, whether it was the type of product you wanted to buy, and secondly, it might well have been overpriced. And the banks and financial institutions took advantage of this. And in regard to the franchisor model, the problem we had is that the franchisors were including a lot of products in their bundle of products which they would charge not market-related prices, and the franchisee would be obliged to purchase them, such as Coke from McDonald's or Kentucky.
How has the new Act been able to assist consumers who feel aggrieved that they are obliged to purchase such products?
Well, in terms of Section 13, which was introduced particularly for this purpose, the franchisee could approach the commission or the franchisor or the supplier on the basis that this was an unfair practice. And what in fact would happen is that the products that were being sold or forced to be sold, they would argue that these were not core products. And they were not particular to the franchise, they're not particular to the bank's core product of applying for a home loan, and on this basis they wouldn't have to be obliged to purchase these products.
Are there any exceptions to this provision?
Yes, there are, and I think, and this is important in our business model, that franchisees are able to purchase wherever they wish to. But on the same token, franchisors have a model which has got to be consistent, it's got to be structured, and it's got to have a way that all franchisees comply. And in order to avoid the Act being too onerous on franchisors, what they've introduced is where there's economic benefit to the franchisee, they can be agreed that they buy these products, and also where it's convenient. And the convenience is an important aspect in franchise agreements, because where, for instance, you're buying your products from McDonald's or KFC, the convenience is delivery from a central depot, and therefore they could prescribe products which are not ordinary or non-core products. In fact, could be products such as Coca-Cola, but if they're done on a basis of convenience through transport costs or economic benefits, you could sell a variety of products, not just your core products.
Paul, would you like to add anything in conclusion?
Yes, I think this legislation has leveled the playing fields for franchisees and consumers in particular, where they now can have a choice of buying their products at a competitive price. But one must realize that the supplier is not completely excluded from this. That where the supplier is selling his branded products and related products, he can still oblige the franchisee or the consumer to purchase his products. The idea is to have a consistent sale of products, and therefore there is this exception that where it's a related product, you can still oblige the consumer to purchase those products.